Yeah, that's.
Well, I was like, I got
Yeah,
nothing. Sports entertainment.
I see what it was.
I got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got stuff and oh crap. Okay, we're started. I already started this. What's up, everybody? This is gosh, man, it's been a while. Francisco here from Sports Goofs. This is number 161. I'm joined by my good buddies Andrew and Charles here. So hey there. What's up, everybody? Yeah, we're your favorite 37th most popular indie sports podcast is back, everybody. So that is not a joke. That is an award, I guess a pretty significant podcast app gave us. So sure, why not? We're not seeing the money from it. At least we're barely seeing it. So tell your friends, get us to number 36, and see what we can do with that. And maybe we can get that enough money for another Taco Bell run at some point. But yeah, so thank you to whoever was listening to us over our extended break. It lasted longer than I thought it would, but things happen, life happens. Now we're back. Now we're good. Now we're geared up and ready to go. So Andrew, I always say this, Andrew, how you doing? How's it going, my dude? There he is.
I'm sneezing.
Yeah, he just sneezing.
Transmitted in any form without the express written consent of Pittsburgh Penguins LP.
Yeah, well, you are settled in.
Look at the first National Bank
You're
by
in
the
your
numbers
spot.
in the first period of play. You can see the Penguins winding up with 6 shots and 16
that's the big
attempts.
change
They
here.
did not have a shot
We're now
for the
all
first
much
11
more
minutes
spread
and
apart than ever
15
before.
seconds
But
of this first
yeah,
period. That is
yeah,
a
you're
long
in
drought.
your new spot.
The
You got
longest
your
in
new,
a year.
your digs.
In a period.
Oh yeah,
but they did stem
that's
the
true.
tide.
We
How
left
did they
assuming
do it,
that you'd
and
be in
how did
Seattle,
they carry that
but you are back
into
in
the
your
second period?
Well,
good
we
old
talked
hometown
about not
of
having
Orlando.
to, you
Ish.
turn the puck over to the neutral zone,
Orlando-ish.
try and stretch
Central
passes
Florida.
that the Avalanche were
Orlando-ish.
cutting off.
Almost.
All right, so now you got to regroup and think about that. Maybe come back a little more help,
Oh.
support, get out of the
Emphasis
zone.
on
But you watch
almost.
the Avalanche. They picked off
I
those.
think
They
Charles
jumped
would
on the
disown
long
me
pass.
if I ended up
So the
moving
other
to
part
Polk,
too, on the
but
forecheck, you and I were
as
talking
I've
about
shown
this a
him
little
on a
bit.
map,
If you're going to get it deep, you're going to do it when your forwards are moving. If you
I
make
am
them
indeed
pull
back
up
in
and then you
my,
ship it deep, it's basically a
real
turnover.
home
You're
of
giving the puck to
Osceola
their
County.
D.
I lived
They're
there
quick out of their
for,
zone. They didn't have much problems in their own zone. So
of the 13
on the
years I
forecheck,
lived
smart
here
dump ins,
prior,
get after it, maybe
I
soft
was
chip to
there
the
for
Fucking, I forgot to lower the volume on this thing.
nine of those.
I don't know if anybody heard me. So it's been a while. I haven't done this in a bit. So maybe people heard me and maybe not. If not, there was a Pittsburgh Penguins broadcast that entered the show. What's up, everybody? I'm Francisco again. The 37th most popular podcast. Andrew's there. He's in Orlando. That's a summary if you've heard us over the cacophony of whether Sidney Crosby scored a goal or not. I'm not sure. So, what's up?
I thought you just ripped one because the fear that you had made it seem like you just let out the megast fart of all farts.
I mean, that wouldn't have been as terrible as I wouldn't have feel as bad because it wouldn't have covered the last minute and a half or more that Andrew was talking and I was talking. So, yeah, Andrew's not in Polk County, thank God. So that's the I guess the big news there. He's in Orlando. Well, all right, Charles, what's up?
I am currently trying to see what was the 37th top song of Billboard, and it was Sabrina Carpenter's "Vicious." I've never heard of it, but we are the Sabrina Carpenter of sports podcasting. I love it. I'm good.
I'm sure Andrew can look up the 37th most popular Billboard song over the last, I don't know, 30 some odd years and see if there's one that we recognize.
Well,
and
don't look at the Rolling Stones list because that top 200 best vocalists is just pure fucking trash. And I already know I wasn't going to curse, but I have to do that because me and my paralegal and my friends have all attacked it. But I'm good. I'm going to do typical Charles things to start my poor contention with what we were discussing beforehand. Is it breaking the ultimate bathroom rule? Is if you're in the bathroom, either going 1 or 2 and someone's trying to talk to you, that's not big time.
Andrew sent me a video specifically about this a couple months ago.
Well, it's relevant to all things. We were reminiscing for those listening.
What was
the
it?
good old days of
Andrew,
law
what was
school.
it? Bathroom etiquette or something like that?
Male restroom etiquette.
Yeah, there you go.
I think also for women's etiquette. Everything in between etiquette. If I'm standing there in my urinal and I'm just jangling out the last bits of urine coming through my urethra, and you're coming to talk to me about helping you nominate for CABA president, SBA president, talking about Jesus, talking about sports, talk about everything in between, you, sir, get a red card. If I am literally blowing up my colon after chicken and waffles, delicacies, and you're talking to me about Newsmax being taken off DirecTV and how you think it's wrong. This is real conversations I've heard of the show, so I'm stealing this from Live by example. And saying that it is limiting people's direct access to media. Mind you, we're in 2023 where everybody could just Twitter, follow us on the Twitter, Charles the True, Dan Frijoles, FJOJR Sports. Just look how I brought that all in.
There we go.
Or you could just go to the direct website. And I'm just praying to every god, from Norse god, Egyptian gods, Christian gods, Cthulhu, just to survive my dumb decision to have Fruity Pebble waffles coupled with Chipotle mixed honey. You break bathroom etiquette, you get red flag.
Okay. Yeah. I
think you would have that in sporting events. So this is how it's all brought in together. When you're in halftime, you had the chili con carne with the milkshake that you shouldn't have, and you really look at the kid in front of you wondering it's okay and acceptable for an 8-year-old to crap himself when you're 33 years old and it's all coming to flood out. And some guy wants to talk to you about how much trash, I'm a Titans fan, so I'll go and say for this, how much trash Mike Vrabel's just running the ball. And you're just trying to pray every Jesus. You also are committing the bathroom etiquette foul, and you get a red card.
Yeah,
this is fantastic. I love it. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. All right, so I guess we're on this train because all right. So I went to I left court and all, so I was going back. I hadn't had a bite to eat until like 3:00 today. So I was really intermittent fasting today. I got out of court and then I went to Publix to grab one of those grab and go sandwiches and whatever. I made.
Did you dip it in ketchup as per usual?
I got barbecue sauce.
That's also adequate.
I got barbecue sauce. They don't sell the individual ketchup things.
Is it Smoky Ray's barbecue?
It's the Publix stuff that they got there.
So basically, sweet Smoky Ray's. All right.
I got sweet and spicy barbecue. So yeah, essentially, that's kind of the same thing. So I got that to dip my little grab and go sandwich into, but. I made the terrible mistake of buying the Oreo Cakesters.
Oh yeah, I bought Oreos too. So this is
you bought regular Oreos though.
Worse than I know. I got double stuffed family size 2 for $8. All right,
but still
simpatico.
All right, so I regret the Oreo Cakester, to be honest. I felt so much shame from eating it, to be like. All right, so I thought it would be different. I don't know what I was expecting, but I thought it would be different.
Isn't it just a wannabe ripoff of non-deep fried Oreos?
No, not really. It's the cake.
I've never had the Cakesters.
The cakes, yeah. I mean, they just came out, right? These are kind of new-ish. So I tried them out. The cream filling is not the same kind that they use for the actual Oreos, which was my disappointment. And then the cake stuff is kind of like those, basically like one of those Hostess treats, kind of that same material. If you can, that kind of sort of same material.
Hostess cupcake.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. That's basically what was the consistency of the cake parts, and I did not like the cream filling at all. I was expecting the Oreo type of cream filling. They just have kind of like a more of like a whipped cream kind of cream filling. Not like, if it was kind of like the Twinkies cream filling, I would have been okay with it because I like that. But I don't know, the flavor, it was just not. I just didn't like it at all. If they used either the Twinkie version of the cream filling or the actual Oreos cream filling, then I would have been alright. Cheap? It did.
Oh, was it that synthetic kind of taste of the cream filling?
Yeah. It just. I felt the cancer running through me already. That's kind of the feeling that I felt. I was so regretful. I was like, you know what? This was not worth a year of my life. Unfortunately, I did it though. It'll pass through. Don't worry. 25 years from now, it'll finally leave my system. But no good on my end. I'm not getting these again. I have the box. I brought it with me. It's sitting there in the bag next to the box of mints that I bought. But they're gonna stay there, and maybe if I'm if I'm feeling especially depressed, maybe I'll go back into it. But they're there for now. If not, I'll hold on to them. I don't know, give it to some kids for Halloween or something later on. I'm not sure. I cannot recommend at all. This isn't even a non-sponsor thing, but I will not recommend at all. So no good. I don't know why. I mean, you started talking about food and stuff like that. I was either that, and I was torn. I'm gonna get the Cakesters, and I walked by the chip aisle, and they had the freaking popcorns with like the popcorn flavored like Fruity Pebbles and all that stuff that they got now.
Yeah, I've seen those. I can't do those. They'll just break my teeth.
I flip flop between one of the other. Let me try the Cakesters. I've been wanting to try it, and I chose badly. It was not good. So I'll wait. And I don't think I can justify buying $40 Miami Heat Oreos. But
I fucking can.
They better. I mean, how many Oreos do come in a regular pack? Not sure.
A lot. I had like 5 before I got on the show. That will be my dinner. With nice Grey Goose cranberry.
I can't justify $40 for Miami Heat Oreos as much. They better come with like 100 of them or something at least. But that's the thing that's going on in the NBA. Hey, sports, everybody! Look at that. Look what's going on. Aside from that, I don't know. Andrew's buying a hat. There's a thing.
There we go.
Yeah,
I have debates on that hat. You know how scary it is
you buy
to
it?
say you don't like...
Andrew,
Not yet.
Okay. All right.
Not
Can I
yet.
comment on that real
Payday.
quick?
Yeah.
Do you know how scary it was to tell Andrew? First off, can you tell him what the hat is?
Well, I'm
I
going to
can
show it on the
explain?
screen here. So
All right.
yeah. But
So Andrew is buying the World Series Baseball Classic Israel hat.
yep.
Andrew's Jewish, for those who don't know. Today I learned, right? It is always kind of scary. Sometimes it's like, I don't like that hat, and be viewed as being anti-Semitic or anything. I just don't like the color of the hat. Why? Because it looks like the Dallas Cowboys. And I say a lot of offensive things in the chat. Nothing about anybody's, race, creed, nationality. That's not us. That's not where we do things here, at all. But I was like hesitant because...
When the hell did I say you were anti-Semitic?
No, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you.
Show's
But
going off to
even
a great
saying
start.
on the show made me afraid for a second, because I'm always afraid about being canceled, because sometimes I have that stream of consciousness. But you never know, and it's just like, okay, I don't want to be with that, but I just think it's an ugly looking hat, because it reminds me of the Dallas Cowboys
There it is.
hats and the stars, and I was like definitely terrified,
There it
and I'm
is.
like, fuck it, it's me, I gotta do this.
It's on the screen.
But
I mean,
if he's
listen,
happy, I'm happy.
I mean, listen, I kind of
I'll share
see
my
your
screen
point
just so you
of
guys
it
can
looking
see.
like a Dallas Cowboys logo. I disagree with this, but
I mean, it's a completely different shape. But I could see. If you guys
It's just
had like
the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it just came to mind.
Mm.
It's just like, I feel like the Rorschach blank tests that came in, and I just thought Dak Prescott. I saw Jerry Jones in it. I was like terrified. Because was that not my knee-jerk reaction when he sent us this?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, this is Dallas Cowboys look.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I will say that I prefer this design over the last one.
Yeah.
Wasn't it the same? You guys like a star
The other
image?
one had an eye in the middle.
Oh, okay. Well, that's dumb. That's like Italy's.
And also, it was the star was smaller.
Oh, had a. Oh,
This
okay.
one's-
I remember now. Yeah.
This one is bigger, and it's just the star. It doesn't have the eye in it.
Yeah, I'm showing off all the hats here. They got USA, which is.
Which I think we had a good... I was cackling
Yeah.
at work, Andrew, when you and I were doing our back and forth on it.
It's not great. It's not a great
It's
design.
terrible.
Yeah.
The problem is, this has been their logo since the 90s.
Yeah.
And listen, there are some things that are fine from the 90s and should continue, like the old Mighty Ducks logo. That should be brought back. the Marlins colors should be brought back. I think teal is a very underrepresented color.
It's coming back.
And I say that because the Lightning are playing the San Jose Sharks right now.
It's coming back. The Hornets went back to it. The Pistons went back to it.
Somehow I actually wear too much teal when they're at home.
Back. Marlins are going back. Watch. It's going to happen.
Hopefully.
All the signs are pointing there.
So,
yeah,
that logo isn't one of those things that...
I mean...
that
it's not great. USA Hockey changed their stuff a few years ago. It looks pretty solid. I like it with the shield and all that stuff. It's kind of like a modern throwback to the original shield logos that they had before, like in the 50s. So that's.
I'm gonna say my one comment on it because I know Andrew has said a lot of the hat looks like those who tuck in their Richard Petty, their Richard Petty smock in their pale blue denim jeans. Mm-hmm. I met those people. They're in Polk County.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic. It's the people who tuck in V-neck shirts. Why?
The gas station next to the Mikasuki Casino. Yeah, that one. That's exactly.
Family dinner nights at McDonald's. The only difference between now and then, what you do on Tuesday compared to Friday is that you order the apple pies. Sorry.
Man, I haven't had a McDonald's apple pie in forever. Sheesh. It's been a long time. My dad would always get those all the time. I haven't even seen all these hats. Let's say Colombia. This is a sports show, everybody. Let's look at all the sports stuff for now.
Well, this is good. It's about an image.
Colombia. Have you seen Colombia's? You're part
I don't like it as a half Colombian. Yeah, as a half Colombian, I'm kind of not a fan of it. It's the C's weird.
Yeah.
Why is it the most Hispanic-looking C you ever see in your life?
Because it's Colombia, baby.
And you know what? There's still going to be people who put the U in there. It's not how it goes, damn it.
Let's see. Israel, Venezuela changed up their hat. Now they got
I can't deal with Venezuela because I just look at the Commanders, and that's all I see. Like the Redskins.
Yeah, that's kind of been their...
Or Cleveland Cavaliers.
They changed their... every other year, they keep... the years before that, they had... It made it look like the Venezuelan flag colors.
Italy looks like the Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
See, Andrew, it's not just not Israel. I'm seeing everything. I'm like, all right, it's all crossword. It's unoriginal if they're doing the entire line of it.
Mexico's been
granted.
The same
I don't know
forever.
how sexy they can go with it.
I like Mexico. It looks very Aztec.
Mexico's is fine.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Looks very okay. That's Mexico. Yeah, you can believe that's Mexico.
Yeah, I can take that.
Legend of the Hidden Temple kind of look.
Yeah.
Japan looks very Japanesey. That's kind of
you know what? I kind of like it though for being simplistic kind of design.
They had like a really very mid 2000s kind of extreme design before. Now they went back to like their retro 1950s this block design, very disciplined type of, I don't know. Looks very Japanese. Let's see, bunch of Yankees caps. Canada's been the same forever. It's Canadian. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen any other one. I think Puerto Rico's and Dominican's someplace else. I think they're the same for the most part. Yeah, Dominican's the same. It's like the R&D.
Is that Canada, the one that was red?
Yeah, the red with like a C and black.
The flag, like a maple leaf.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's them. And then I don't see the others.
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I haven't seen Nicaragua's yet. I don't even know.
I think it's just an N.
Yeah, it's an N, but I like the style. It's a very classic Spanish-looking N. Not like modern Spanish, which is what the Colombians got. So we got a more classy one.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
As always, I think the Canadian one is really nice.
All right. Well, I don't
like the U.S. one.
Yeah, no, we're agreement there. Yeah, we're all over here for this one. Well, all right. Well, sports. Let's see. So, man, last time we talked, college football playoffs hadn't even happened.
Well, I mean,
freaking.
Congratulations to won the. It was Georgia. There you go. Because we're off on
not
that.
even close.
The point that TCU.
Me and Andrew watched that together. Oof. What an oof
I'm
by TCU.
sorry.
What an oof by TCU.
They're gonna be like, but we got 7 points and we made it to the finals.
Mm.
I didn't even watch it. I just knew it was gonna be a shit show, and I think I was just texting you guys my
Andrew had to watch
arrogant,
it.
attitude towards it. Yeah, he was. I'm sorry about that, Andrew. I'd rather watch daytime soap operas again. I used to when I was.
We had pizza, so that was a good thing. That was like the best part of that night, was just eating the pizza. And let's see what else. The All-Star game just happened here in Florida, so that happened. So, yay, the Panthers did it. They hosted it. People liked it.
Yay.
It didn't rain until the last day, which is when the actual game happened. So, but before that, it was nice. Beach was nice. All the Northerners came by and had a good time. So, and Gary Bettman was like, "See, why do we want to move this team? All right, y'all fucking love coming down here." So that was good. And hockey's happening. I think the Panthers won last night against Lightning, so that was good. Matthew Tkachuk is your daddy, Andrew. So I'll just let you know that. He's poking. The Panthers are not doing great.
He's the only good thing that the Panthers have right now.
Yeah, well,
How are the Panthers doing?
They're barely above 500. But yeah, we're getting Anthony
I was
Duclair
looking at the
back.
standings, and
If we get Anthony Duclair back, and we've got like a ton of home games in in the second half of the season, so it's mostly home games. I think for like 20 days they only have like one road game or something like that. So if they can string together a winning streak, they're not going to catch up to Tampa or Toronto or Boston. I've already kind of let that go. So it's Pittsburgh or Washington, and Buffalo is also doing all right this season. They're finally rebuilding in a good way. So that's kind of been hockey lately. That's I haven't really been. I mean, it's been the All-Star break, so I haven't really followed all that much at all. I liked Luongo being the celebrity goalie. That was really nice to see him back in the pads, even though he didn't retire that long ago.
Speaking of, those pads were awesome.
Oh yeah, he had the amazing nod to every stop in his career, including the C when he was made the captain of the Vancouver Canucks, which was a very brief moment, but he did it. So goalies never are named captain of their teams, but Luongo was the last one to have been named that, and he might be the last one to be named that actually. So that was cool. Canucks fans are fucking assholes that don't deserve anything, and the entire Vancouver Canucks organization also doesn't deserve anything good, especially the way they handled Bruce Boudreau.
Can I get context for this hatred?
Yes, Bruce Boudreau. All right,
my dude.
Exactly. You're wrestling fan, so he's one.
He
of
likes
you,
the
Charles.
right guy.
Yeah. He's one of you, Charles. So
He's so adorable. I think when we put him
Everybody
on
loves-
the hottest
yeah.
list, I said he's just a cute guy.
he's I think he's like 68 years old. This might have been his last stop in his hockey coaching career, and it just ended up in a shitty way. He was hired as the interim coach last year of the Canucks, after they fired their coach. I forgot who was the coach of the Canucks. The Canucks are terrible. They're in a rebuilding phase. And so it was like, okay, cool. Boudreau, he had some success with the Capitals before for a long time. I think it was with the Wild for a bit. Like he's been around the block. He's coached some good teams. Just never got over the hump to win an actual Stanley Cup. But still, Vancouver, young team, experienced coach, they can learn a lot from. Cool. And they never, they're like, oh, you're going to be interim coach still. They changed GMs and all this other stuff. And it was like, they didn't find a head coach over the last offseason. So they just stuck with Boudreau. But Boudreau was coaching without, any assurance that, hey, hey, we'll think of you. And then they finally fired him after the Canucks were just doing terrible. But the team is shitty. It's a shitty team. It's a terribly run team right now. Their rebuild is not been great. You would think that they would have had the courtesy to have let Boudreau go in the offseason. Be like, hey, look, dude, we're in a rebuild. You might want to go coach some other team that you might have a shot, might be up and coming. We're not up and coming yet. We're still in this. So we'll get some young coach who might want to do a start here in Vancouver. Something like that. I don't know. They could have gotten somebody else, but They fired him. It was not good. The social media team posted his exit press conference, and he was crying. Like, you don't do that, man. All right, this man has been in hockey for, like, I don't know, 40, 50 years. Like, his entire life. It's been his whole thing. And people like Boudreaux. You know, right? It's he didn't deserve the way he went out. And if this is the end of his career, then shit, man. It's not good. So that's Vancouver Canucks fans and their organization don't deserve anything nice. Even with Luongo, with the thing, they didn't retire his number. They just had him in the Ring of Honor. The Panthers retired his number already, and he's the winningest goalie of all time. He got them within one game of winning the Stanley Cup. And people are like, well, our other great goalie before, he wore number 1 also. And he also got to a game 7 and lost, but we didn't retire his number. I'm like, well, fucking retire both. The Yankees do it. They've retired 2 numbers at once for 2 guys.
We're a class.
Yeah, but still. Like, I mean, anyways, fucking Canucks fans think their organization is good. Like you guys are not the Leafs. and that's saying something. All right, you're comparing you to the Leafs. I haven't won shit in a long time. You guys aren't the Habs, that's for sure. You're sheesh, man. Gosh, there's so many other teams that just do better than. Oh man, okay, guys, keep talking. I got a work call. Sheesh.
So all I know about Boudreaux is he loves Kevin Owens. I love Kevin Owens in wrestling. And then I watched his exit interview, or at least whatever it did. And I mean, it just seems kind of messed up. But hockey, at 68, Andrew, is this really just his last stop? I always feel like a lot of guys keep getting chances anyway, no matter how old they are. Is this really his last call, last go? Is it because of how bad the Canucks were doing? That's how you know it's the end all be all, everything in between?
I don't know. I mean, anyone that has a pulse knows that it wasn't his fault that the team was doing so poorly.
Yeah.
Well, anyone that actually pays any sort of attention to hockey knows that he was dealt a bad hand and he did the best he could with it. He's become like a sentimental
favorite
as far as coaches go. So, I mean, I'm sure a team would love to have, fans would love to have him just on that alone. But like Francisco said, he hasn't had, the most playoff success, and, who knows if, he'll go any further. So I don't know. I mean, this could be the end. I hope it's not, because, I don't care how bad the coach is. The way he went out was just terrible. So in that regard, he deserves at least one more chance just to go out on a high note.
Maybe it's just a situation where he ends up getting an interim job and then someone gets fired and he could just kind of carry it over.
All right.
It's the worst thing to say, but that's how sometimes these guys come back in.
I'm back. All right. So, yeah. All right.
We held a hockey conversation.
Hell yeah.
We're so proud of ourselves.
Hell yeah. Go. There you go, guys. I don't know where to go from here, guys, with the show. It might be a shorter show because we started pretty late. It's already almost 8:30.
Well, let's do.
We're 30 minutes in.
Hits on the other sports. I think it's fairly simple.
All right. Well, straight training's starting next week, so there's that with pitchers and catchers reporting. So, I mean, the Marlins actually signed people. We got John Segura. We traded for Luis Arias. So we actually have players that, like, the Marlins can't develop hitting, so they actually found some guys who could actually hit a little bit. So that's cool. I still think they're going to win like 75 games, but that's better than 69, which was yesterday. So that was kind of nice, but not very nice for a team like that. Unless something goes horribly wrong with everybody else in the division. But Carlos Correa's in Minnesota still. He stayed. That was
something, man.
That
was an ordeal.
Was his? I don't know. Something's up with his ankle. I have no idea, but the Twins are okay with it.
I feel like that was a free agent signing news that no one actually cared about except for Carlos
Mets
Correa's
fan.
camp and his mother.
And Mets fans.
Yeah, well, the Mets just right now they're just being gluttonous. They just want everybody. And I like Buck Showalter, but Buck Showalter is exactly why he wasn't the Yankees manager past everything because it just ain't the guy to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, it happened in New York. Happened with the Diamondbacks also. He couldn't get over the hump. The Orioles too, right? Yeah, same thing. Yeah, always.
Well, the Orioles, I kind of feel like he gets a mulligan on.
I think him not putting Ubaldo Jimenez as in that one game against the Blue Jays was that was totally his fault. So that was that.
Fantastic memory, man.
Yeah, well, I think Andrew would remember that for sure.
Which one?
When the Blue Jays Orioles wild card game, and Showalter put Ubaldo Jimenez instead of his actual closer to keep that game tied, and then Edwin Encarnacion hit that massive home run, walk off, and 13th inning or something.
That wasn't ideal, now was it?
No. So Buck Showalter is just always seems to find a way to shoot himself in the foot in the playoffs. So I don't know what else stuck out for baseball. Jazz is on the MLB cover, so I'm buying that this year because God knows when the Marlins going to have somebody else on there
for no reason.
Yeah, well, because the Marlins can't find a center fielder. They can't develop one either. So he's going to be the center fielder. And I think, his favorite player was Ken Griffey Jr. So,
how do you feel about that? Like, you actually have something that's of acclaim here to talk about.
He's all right.
And all I read on the Marlins Twitter was everybody was loving it because they believe in jazz, and I'm just like, can I get someone who's objective here? You were Rita Repulsa for an entire football season,
and I was right about the Dolphins, so I was fucking right. I knew they were gonna break everybody's hearts, so people were actually believing in that Buffalo Bills game too. Actually, more than anything else, the Dolphins exposed the Bills for who they really are. So. That was really the only thing there. But anyways,
the rule changes they're going to come now.
The NFL's really going to push the Bills.
I'm just saying.
Right? Well, we all know it's rigged. There's a script. There's a script, so we all know the NFL is scripted. How about that? That meme was fantastic. The script handed to me
that Todd Downing was going to get fired.
that was a great meme for like a week. The NFL scripting. Oh man. But Jazz is.
It was great because we got players who were talk about it. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that later. But Jazz, he's. I don't know how he's going to do in center field, but.
I mean, is center field like the easiest position for somebody who's never played it to learn?
Right field is probably the best position for someone who's never played it to learn because you just kind of stand there and don't really do anything.
Yeah.
Center field, you actually got.
I'm afraid he's just going to hit the wall a couple times.
Well, yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing. Well, he'll have the speed. I'm sure Juan Pierre is going to be at the Marlins spring training, and likely is going to be helping him out to learn as well. And we'll see. I mean, the Marlins put their left fielder in center field last year. Two of them, I think, Jesus Sanchez and Brian De La Cruz, and those guys did not work out at all. So, okay, hold on. Keep going, guys. It's another phone call.
So, I going on.
Off the damn phone.
You got work is work. I'll jump onto it here because, as you know, even though I'm a Yankees fan, I will follow and support my friends' teams, including the Marlins and the Rays. The Rays I already know because they're in my damn division, but it just seems cheap. And I know they signed the guy who's supposed to be one of the best at that base that Jazz was playing earlier. Was it second base or shortstop?
All right, that was my sister trying to figure out how much money I gave her.
Okay. Right. Well, so quick question: Jazz was playing what, second base or shortstop?
Second base. He was developed as a shortstop, but then he became a second baseman because we had Miguel Rojas. But then we traded Miguel Rojas. He's gone, but they still signed a second base, a shortstop. So he's. And we can't develop a center fielder, so now he's second base. And I think Luis Arias, he's a second baseman. So there you go. So that's the deal.
my thing is that how long are you going to go without spending just even for regular position players? We're not asking you to get superstars, but damn, trade somebody, go for somebody, sign somebody. I know the free agency crop was very short and small for these positions, but damn.
The only significant center fielder that's out there is Brian Reynolds of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's not happy there. He's disgruntled. The Marlins have the prospects to probably get it done and may have to overpay the Pirates to do it. But they're the Pirates. It's not going to come back and bite you. But I think, I don't know. For some reason, I don't know if the Marlins are trying to wait this out with like the Mets and the Braves and the Phillies and whatever little window they're in. But they don't have the money to spend, and I don't know what's going to happen because they can only do this so far. They don't have the scouting or anything like Tampa to keep up, unless, like, really that's where the Marlins should be spending their money, is to poach people from Tampa and all these other franchises or Houston and build up their scouting department so that they can compete, even like mid-range payroll with Washington, not Washington, but Philly and Atlanta and New York. That's really their gosh, but just be the St. Louis Cardinals. My God, they don't spend like they kind of mid-range, kind of upper mid-range. So just be that. That's all I want the Marlins to be, right? But
my thing is, how does it help your first-time coach Skip Schumacher do anything effectively?
Well, he's got better. I mean, he's got more to work with this year than Don Mattingly has had in the last few years since they blew everybody like blew up the whole thing with Stanton and those guys. So honestly, Schumacher's got a better team than Mattingly ever had since the Stanton days. So that's it's not as terrible a situation compared to other jobs in baseball for Shoemaker. So he was with the Cardinals and I think the Padres in their coaching staff for a bit. And I think he was with the Padres when they weren't really awesome. So I think it'll be all right. He's a player's coach. I think he actually does know Spanish too, because that's a thing that matters to the Marlins. And yeah. I mean, it's like I said. I think this. I'm conservatively saying that they're gonna win like 75 games, which, you know, if their hitters actually hit, because the two guys that they signed last year was Jorge Soler, who got injured and didn't hit well, and then Avisail Garcia, who got fat last year from all the arepas here in Miami, but he's been working out the entire offseason. He's looking good. He's thin now, so he laid off the arepas. I know. I get it, man. I understand. All right, he's a Venezuelan. It was hard to resist. He came down. He was in Milwaukee before. They don't got no arepas up there. So yeah, he's.
They just got cheese up there, bud.
Oh, they got Culver's. That's what they got up there. Giannis came back to the light. Oh, let's talk about that. So Giannis scored 50, and he decided to get Culver's instead of Chick-fil-A. And he trusts Culver's. That's what he said.
Chick-fil-A sucks.
Yeah, exactly. He finally saw the light. He finally see. You know, I get it. You won the NBA Finals. You know, it doesn't matter. Like, you know, you can have just, you know, mediocre chicken nuggets and just be like, yeah, you're just absolute high in adrenaline. But now he's seen the light. He went to Culver's. He tried some of that custard and the burgers and stuff like that. And I get it, man. I understand. Heck, the last 2 times I've been to Orlando, that's where we've been going, Andrew. You can attest. For sure. I actually left my frickin' I left a pint of it back at your place, actually. I'm going to get some of that when I come back. When we check out that Solar Bears game. But yeah. There's a Culver's down here, right? Somewhere down here in South Florida?
There's one by where I live.
I don't know. I'll look.
There's definitely one in Martin near Stewart.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because I think there's probably one in Broward.
I think there's another one further south of there.
There's probably one in Broward. That's probably like
I think there's one in West Palm as well.
Really? If so, I'm going to West Palm Beach tomorrow. I'm going to get my teeth cleaned, and I'm coming back and I'm gonna store those bad boys afterwards. So that'll be good. I'll suggest it to the folks so they can get it. You know, I try and bring food to the folks.
What do you eat from there?
I've been trying the chicken stuff. Like, you know, I don't eat burgers at like burger joints no more for whatever reason. I don't know. I just can't deal with it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm getting old. You know, I'm starting to feel the grease. I get concerned about it, Charles. I really do. Right?
What the hell is this?
You know, I've been, yeah, sheesh, man. The last couple months, just the health and all this stuff. I'm trying to get it together. So,
Well,
I don't remember the last time I had
food. So
I had BurgerFi last month. That was like the last like outside hamburger that I had that it wasn't like one that I had in my sister's place or something. So that's kind of been my thing. But yeah.
Okay, so Francisco, the closest one
Yes.
to Miami,
Here
it's
we
not
go.
open yet.
Oh.
Is in Cooper City.
Oh, okay. All right. That's okay. Not open yet, but there's one in Broward. I'm assuming. I'm going to assume.
And there's one right now in Margate that is open.
Okay. All right. So that's just in case I have some
which
cravings
is-
for the thing instead of buying the fucking Oreo cakesters. What a mistake.
So actually, it's south of West Palm. So
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. I can deal with that. I can come up. That's for sure. Guys, I really don't know where to go with this. We're at 42 minutes. My brain is shot.
I will lead it. I will handle it.
Yes, give us stuff to talk about, Charles.
I got it.
There's a bunch of stuff. I should have written stuff over the last
The
couple
Super
months.
Bowl is this weekend.
Oh yeah, that's a
And
thing
that's what
happening.
we probably should have opened with. This
Yeah.
sports show, everybody.
Everybody's talking about Super Bowl.
But-
Sheesh.
So I love how everybody is making it about the battle for Andy Reid's soul. Or Andy Reid and the Eagles like split amicably. He's just gonna enjoy the Waffle House regardless.
Yeah.
The NFL playoffs
National treasure.
were okay. You know, in viewing it, and I viewed it almost its full capacity, minus like 2 or 3 games. Good for just good for like when you think about it. Sometimes it's okay. We love underdogs, but sometimes there's a good sensation when you see the 2 1 seeds actually seeing each other at the Super Bowl because it means something's working correctly.
Yeah.
And there's no real narrative behind this Super Bowl compared to like last year, which was the Rams trade all this stuff for, you know, Matt Stafford. And then we have Joey B being chilly over here, or the year prior when it was Brady and whoever, and then Mahomes and whoever, and everybody doing something. And I love how everybody's just hating the narrative that Mahomes is here. I'm like, this is what a transcendent, you know, quarterback's supposed to do. Supposed to lead a team even if they don't have Tyreek
This is what
Hill.
people
But it
thought
feels like,
Dan Marino would be like, and that didn't happen.
well, it feels like a little bit the most hyped or the least hyped Super Bowl in quite some time because you had so many overarching narratives, and then no one's really hyping up the Eagles for making a very well constructed roster that did things effectively. No one's talking about how the Chiefs are, you know, doing this really without Tyreek and playing a different feel of offense because they don't want to. And then all they want to talk to me about is like the Kelsey Bowl, but people forget that both Kelseys have won Super Bowls already. So to me, it's really irrelevant and not necessary, if anything. If anything, I want to talk about how Frank Clark is just, you know, channeling his inner freaking gangster, telling everybody don't come to Burrowhead Stadium and how much because I need a rival.
Damn,
I need a real
that was a great
legitimate
that was
rivalry.
pettiness beyond all level. That was
Exactly,
great.
and I appreciate the petty, and I
Mm.
need a real legitimate feud in the NFL. And so long they want to tell you it was the Bills and the Chiefs, all because the Bills couldn't play defense. So let's make all the excuses. So we want to crown them because we just like them because it's the Bills, because we feel bad about making the script of having them go 4 straight Super Bowls and not having them win one. So let's make them love you now. But there is something special. There is some Detroit Pistons, Michael Jordan Bulls special about the possibility of the Chiefs and the Bengals facing each other like every single year because NFL has been missing that. NBA, I get that every day of the week, baby. Especially if you're on the Memphis Grizzlies, I'm always getting a fight. I'm always getting John Moran and Dylan Brooks talking that shit.
Just talking about, hey, we're the most hated team in the NBA.
Yeah, I am basically getting I'm basically getting rap EP samples of songs going on day in and day out where we just get different remixes and variations. And I absolutely love it in the NBA. And the NFL has been kind of bored because really it was just anybody but Tom Brady. That was your legitimate beef in the NFL.
Yeah.
God, just not Tom Brady. But Tommy B retired. Tommy B stayed 2 years or 3 years in Tampa, and now he's just showing them thirst traps to them ladies out there. We saw the Twitter feeds, but this is something special. This is something special that we're getting. But the problem is your AFC Championship game is just now more interesting than your Super Bowl. Because it's like you couldn't create this narrative because at the end of the day, good for Nick Sirianni and Howie Roseman of the Eagles for constructing this right roster. Good for Jalen Hurts, who does deserve his money to show that a second-round quarterback can do things effectively just like a first-rounder. Because you know who was 2 good second-round quarterbacks that no one wants to talk about? 3. I'll give you 3. Andy Dalton, Colin Kaepernick, and Derek Carr. And they all got you to the playoffs if you construct it well enough alone. And Sirianni doesn't do anything that's just terrible. It's the city of Philly, so if they won, I'm waiting for the It's Always Sunny episode that I'm getting.
Well,
AJ Brown
they made one already for it. The one tribute video for episode of that one.
And I'm going to take the other one. And AJ Brown is on the Eagles, so you know that's what
I was waiting for.
Me. It's coming because let me take you back, boys. Let me take you back, man, as J. Cole once said, to about 9 months ago. We're doing the NFL draft update. And then Francisco is just telling me on this stream, oh, hey, man, XYZ.
I'm looking for DoorDash. I was looking for DoorDash.
Yeah, we were talking about Wendy's. And he's like, the Titans just traded. I'm like, what? And then I find out that they traded A.J. Brown to the Eagles. And I'm like, what? Why? And then in this year, that has come to that there is nothing that's more perfect storybook Cinderella than A.J. Brown winning a Super Bowl, leading to the firings of John Robinson, our GM who traded away. And AJ didn't want a lot of money. And I'll say it on the record now, I love Derrick Henry. Love him. We know I love him. He has a shirt with my statement about the Henry Handy in there. But I would have traded him before I traded AJ Brown. So there's nothing more perfect than AJ Brown going. And he's been excellent for the Eagles. 1,400 yards, something like nature, like 8, 9, 10, 11 touchdowns, whatever you call it. He has been purely what they needed to be to win this Super Bowl, and he led to John Robinson getting fired, and then also to a plus Todd Downing got fired, and that always makes me feel a little bit good inside. It makes me feel very oozy because John Robinson betrayed me, and betrayal is sometimes bad, but sometimes so sweet. That's a little reference there. The Kansas City Chiefs don't really have that kind of storyline, and I don't really care. This is the first Super Bowl in a very long time that I'm okay with whoever wins. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah. Last year I kind of felt like it was the same thing too, but I was really pushing for Aaron Donald, so I'm not gonna lie and say that I wasn't a little bit biased. But I need some stuff. But there's something special, boys, that I think you can even get non-NFL fans to watch if it's always Chief Bengals, because Joey B's got a little bit of that swagger. He's a fucking Lucas main. I'm saying that right now. Eli Apple cashing them checks that his. Yeah, it just can't happen. And then it's just so good. And then Andy Reid just not eating into that. And then the worst, I think the reason why people hate Patrick Mahomes is because they hate his brother, who I know absolutely nothing about, except he kind of looks like a Chad. Yeah, but it's okay. You know,
not even a Chad. Okay, is not a Chad. Not whatsoever. Not a Chad. Not a Chad.
What would he be?
I don't know. He just.
But I would say I will watch the Super Bowl. I will enjoy the Super Bowl. I'm happy with whoever really wins.
A chode. He'd be a chode, but not a Chad.
A chode. Yeah, we'll take a chode. But that's my thoughts on the NFL. We just finally found our offensive coordinator after firing Todd Downing. We just promoted our guy who was the passing coordinator. So pass us. Why even bother?
Dolphins just paid head coach away to a defensive coordinator.
Brian Flores. Yeah, Brian Flores is now the defensive coordinator on the Vikings, so good for him as he tries to sue the NFL for something that was very apparent. And then Sean Payton is on the Broncos. So congratulations, Denver. The Denver Walmarts, because that's who owns them, essentially got a guy who quit after 1 year realizing he didn't have Drew Brees. I'm saying it. Man, the AK's out. We're spraying and praying here, kids. We're the guy who we say he was such a good coach, but had multiple, 2 in a row, and then an additional year of a 7-9 record with a mostly healthy Drew Brees a roster hell that was constructed badly. I don't know how the Saints do it, but sometimes the idea is that you work with what you had, and even though you overpaid people, I will never hate players getting their money. I will always kind of crap on franchises who put too much bad money into people, and that's on them because you got to learn the economics of it. But you gave up so much just to get Russell, and then you trade like another first rounder to the Saints, and my buddy's a Saints fan, so I'm like, all right, guy. My other friend's a Broncos fan. We were just talking to her. It's like, yeah, I know, but whatever. What are we supposed to do? I'm like, I know. But you're trading, basically mortgaging your future for a quarterback who looked out of sorts, and then a head coach in the 1 year he did not have Drew Brees. Listen, the 1 year he did not have Drew Brees could not get anything done, and then he retired. I'm just saying, is Drew Brees really the product of Sean Payton's success? Because people love to sure say that Sean helped out Drew. And he did, career-wise, but at some point...
Because Drew got himself that thing, because he had those, like, 2 good years in San Diego before he went out, you know?
Yeah, and then he had the shoulder surgery. Yeah, that was the whole thing. And then Drew became more relevant. Drew was hitting 5,000 yards, like, every
Nick Saban still hates the Dolphins doctors for that.
Like, but here's the truth. Does Russell Wilson scheme? Because I've seen plenty of tape. I'm going to say what the analysts like to say. I've seen plenty of tape now. I've seen enough from throughout the years, man. Throughout the years. That it's really like run the ball, deep ball, pass. You know, all these guys. Let's see what happens. I'm just saying.
Look what Pete Carroll did without him.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Right?
Look at that Geno Smith doing his thing. So, yeah. Let's see. So we're at 52 minutes. That was NFL talk. So Super Bowl next. I really don't mind who wins or loses.
Oh, to be honest. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I have no idea.
And can I throw one more dig? May I throw one more dig?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to?
Yeah. Of course.
Y'all love Derek Carr now. Y'all love Derek Carr now because he was throwing at little targets, but this whole time. Y'all were crapping on him, and you're saying, oh, it's so bad what Oakland's doing, and they're holding him hostage. The man's going to get released so he can be able to sign anywhere he wants to go. But now y'all love him. For 9 years, all y'all talk that trash. For 9 years, you talked all that trash. He gets you to playoffs twice, technically. Didn't play in one playoff game. I think Matt McGloin did. And then last year, look, I thought Rick Bisaccia should have been the head coach after that performance and what him and Carr led to. But now we're saying is this, but are we also going to take away that he was kind of a product of the demise of his team? But the problem is with Derek Carr being gone, there's some chatter that I cannot stand for, gentlemen, of a former quarterback that Devontae Adams has caught balls from that helped propel this man to be like a back-to-back MVP, possibly going to Las Vegas to get all the ayasa that he needs. Oh, you can eat buffet of ayasa. And this is going to be, unfortunately, my off-season storyline.
Let him do
because
it.
Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts can win the Super Bowl. Andy Reid can win the Super Bowl. Frank Clark, grilling up, can win the Super Bowl. Or everybody else in the Eagles can win the Super Bowl. And I know this goddamn offseason is just going to be demonstrated to where is Aaron Rodgers. And Rodgers is not going to – I'm calling it right now. The same reason why Brady did not retire last year because he didn't want to share the spotlight with Big Ben retiring is the same reason why Rodgers is not going to retire because he doesn't want to retire the same year that Brady did.
Yeah.
So he's going to continue to play. And then my entire 3 months, because you know it's going to happen post-draft. It has to. Because that would be the ultimate move, right?
Yeah.
Because he wants to play. He's going to be dedicated to, like, where will Aaron Rodgers play?
The same thing happened with Brett Favre, by the way.
Oh, my God.
Same fucking thing happened. Know what? They were in front of his fucking front lawn.
I know. It is creepy. Because it's clear as day they don't believe in Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the body of work dictates that, you know, Aaron Rodgers trumps Love. But at some point, y'all also made the decision to go past Favre and went with Rodgers regardless because of a couple games that he covered when Favre got injured midseason, if you guys remember correctly, against Dallas. Man, I can't live like this anymore. I just can't do this. Disgusting.
A few more years. That's it. You will be good. All right. Let's see. 55 minutes. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? We could do a word from our
non-sponsors. We should probably just
want to do that and then call it a night.
Yeah, we're at 55 minutes, and then we'll. I mean, Nintendo Direct's not until tomorrow, so I don't know gaming talk aside from us trying to get Andrew to play more games.
That doesn't require
Majora's Mask.
You know, he's got to enjoy the single player side of it.
Play Majora's
single player.
Exactly, he's got to play Majora's Mask, or just I feel like that's if I was gonna do a video game draft for Andrew, I'd pick Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Plenty of guides online.
Dude, I'm 33 years old and I don't want to play Majora's Mask. That shit's hard. I'm sorry,
Really?
Andrew.
I played
It's
through
because
that game like 3 times.
25 years old is much different, man. Or I'm sorry, 25 years ago is much different.
He's got the save states and stuff like that, so it'll be easier for him, for sure, on the N64, Switch, whatever. So, I'm just saying. Or because he's not biting on all those deals you keep sending him. So, Well, we'll see. All right, so yeah, word from our non-sponsors, people, places, things, concepts, what have you, that we've been enjoying over the last, let's say 3 months. The last 3 months. Something that sticks out to you guys, if anything. I don't know who wants to go first. You guys have been thinking about this, or we can do multiple ones. It doesn't matter to me at this point. We got a show. It wasn't thoroughly planned because of a bunch of stuff for me for work, but let's see.
Gosh, Andrew been quiet. I want to hear from him.
Oh, sheesh. I mean, he's got his Switch now. He's got Splatoon 3. He's been enjoying that a long time, or for the last couple weeks. I don't know. What have you been liking, Andrew? Got the new digs.
Well, let's see. I know what I'm choosing. It's just I forget what it's called. Pronto Italy Pizza.
Is that the one we went to?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, some good eats. Not a chain. Yeah.
We, my mom and I discovered a little pizza place next to where our place is in Osceola County. Charles, it is in Osceola County.
Okay.
It's called Pronto Italy, and I'm not mispronouncing it. It's just a pun. It's like Italy, except it's EATALY.
Yep.
Italy. It's probably the best pizza I've ever had. Which is saying something because I've had a lot of pizza, a lot of very good pizza, but it is really good. It's nice. You can sit outdoors. They play really awesome music. Free refills. Get multiple sizes. They also sell things other than pizza. You've got calzones. You've got, I think, lasagna.
I got the menu.
They have a pretty good list of things they serve.
They sell subs
pretty
too?
decent prices as well. What's that?
They sell subs too, which means there's 3 places that sell subs in that one plaza. You got the Subway, you got the Publix, and you got the pizza place. I was
I need to try some of the other stuff eventually. The only thing I've had so far are the pizza and calzone. I should venture out into the pastas at some point. They spelled entrees wrong.
We should. Well, I don't know if that's where pizza entres. I don't know unless there's an Italian version of that word, but
I don't know.
But anyways,
yeah, I highly recommend it. Charles, if you ever, for some reason, come up to Orlando, I'll take you there.
I like a good pizza.
Really, it's really good. Francisco can attest.
We were tempted last time I was up there to go to Cafe Minero. Charles,
listen. All right, I got a little excited just hearing that right now.
We were tempted.
We actually we were driving back from UCF, taking I-4, and we passed by I-Drive. And we were talking in the car. It's like, hey, Francisco, want to make Charles jealous? we could have gone there easily off of the highway, but we opted not to.
Next time.
It is literally the best experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
It is what Trevor Lawrence felt when he went to the Waffle House the first time in his life.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So Pronto Italy.
So yeah, Pronto Italy pizza, promo code Entres.
Entres. Okay. You want to go up, Charles? You got anything?
Yes. So it's a lot. A lot I could say. Could it be food? Could it be gaming?
It's a lot of things.
Could it be television? Ramona is my non-sponsor of the year, as always, as I told you back in March. But I live an intense lifestyle. I'm at the gym. I have a very intense job. You know, I deal with people, and I'm an intense brain. And sometimes you just need that feel-good, wholesome, cute and cuddly sensation. You have to remember that you're human sometimes, boys. You know, in the heart of winter shall winter heart lay, but I gotta get a warm every now and then. And during our hiatus, I played a lot of games. But I played a game that just put a smile on my face. Made me feel all good inside. It's a game I can recommend to anybody who's 7 years old, 17 years old, 33 years old, 30, anybody who has a newly bought Switch because they were supposed to go to Seattle, but then circumvented to Osceola County, now Polk County. And that's Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. It is just such a good game. It is wholesome. It's a little bit harder on the remix levels. It was enjoyable. It's about 15, 16, 17 hours long. Basically, a story you need to know, Kirby gets sucked up going elsewhere, doing some things, and he's a pink, vicious little bubblegum. And he brought his friends, the little do-rag bandana guy that, you know, confirmed my theory that Kirby is gangsta affiliated, which I love so much. Waddle Dee, thank you. Because there's so many Waddle Dees, so it's got to be do-rag Waddle Dee.
Yeah, bandana
right?
Waddle Dee, yeah.
It doesn't have like the specific name.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a do-rag. All right, don't call me. It's a bad. I know the difference.
That's right.
I lived in New York and Miami, damn it. But yeah, which I've been rewatching a lot of. Just saying.
There's been a lot of memes on Twitter. That's what I'm seeing it. Yeah.
But I have it in my head where Kirby and Waddle Dee now are Onceler and Gin Rummy, and I can't get that out of my head. For anybody who's seen the Boondocks, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, what you need to know, it is not an open world, but it's a semi-linear world, mostly like linear.
Mario 3D
Kirby
world.
And that little Phoenix thing, whatever it's called, Eflin or whatever. Kirby just sucks up things, absorbs their powers, and I found myself using the ice and the fire and the whirlwind, and then the gun was kind of disappointing, the Ranger, but you know, I like being to Meta Knight and everything of that nature. But guys, there's just very sweet moments, like as you see in the background, you can just take a little photo ops. It's cute. I reunited a family of ducks, not on just one world, but in two worlds. It felt good. It felt right. My heart tugged into it. And then I beat it, and I remember, crap, this is Kirby. There's a secret ending that I gotta find. So they have a secret level that comes in, which is a remix of the best ofs of all the worlds. And I did that to complete it fully, get the true ending, which I recommend people to do. DD's in there. Everybody's kind of in there. They made Soldier Knight or whatever it's called, canon. It's just cool. I liked it. It's very wholesome. It's very cute. It's good. It's what games need to be, I feel, and it's what Nintendo profits of very well, because when everything is dark, grimy, and action-based, granted, I'm just playing Death at the Outsider the other day, so there it goes where my mindset is, where everything's got to be this grim, cursing, killing people, Call of Duty. You get something where it's just Kirby's really just eating, absorbing people like a parasite, and also absorbing cars. That was such a cool function. I'm watching the trailer right now where you could just take little things. It's just intuitive. It's innovative. It's cute. It's cuddly. It's wholesome. I can't recommend it enough. I liked it. It's good for the old school platformers. It's actually a little bit harder for us adults, thankfully. On the remix levels, it was kind of a breeze. But on the remix levels, you really have to know what's going on. And if you got kids and you want to play with that, I guess you could do that too. But if you want something with you and the couple, you could play that as well. But it's just good, man. And you don't want to sit down and play 5 hours in one shot. You shouldn't treat Kirby games like that. But it is something that I think you would be remiss not to play. I can't recommend enough. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Promo code Boondocks.
Yeah, this was the first video game my nephew beat pretty much on his own. He actually did do the extra stuff and 100% in it, Charles. So this is the first video game.
Did he? All right.
Yeah, like he did the whole game. So very proud, at that age. Let's see, 7 years old. So like, yeah, his first ever video game he's ever beaten. Let's see, what was the first game? Sheesh, the first game I beat was like Sonic 3. That was so it's a very proud moment as a video game uncle, So I'm very proud of him for that. Just I'm trying to get him to like something else now. So we'll see. But yeah, great game for anybody really. This is one of the big surprises from Nintendo. They actually knocked it out of the park with this one. All right.
I think I'd go with it 8.
Yeah, it's good. It's first 3D Kirby game, first actual 3D Kirby.
I will say the final boss does switch it up a little bit because what I say, it's Kirby meets The Last of Us versus Kirby meets Bayonetta. I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah. All right, so I guess I'll go with this game because I it's kind of been a thing I've been looking up and all this other stuff. It's Yakuza 0.
Oh yeah, I was good.
So because Charles, this is gonna be a thing for me. I'm gonna buy Kiwami at some point. Sega's already always has it on sale for like $2 or something. So eventually I will get that. Then I'll move on from there. I've seen like people talk about the series, like, okay, Kiwami's good, Kiwami 2, and then like it might be kind of lulls for a little bit for a few of them, and then like freaking Like a Dragon is absolutely not even the same type of game anymore. It's all over the place, but now they got the retro ones that go into like ancient Japan, like the Edo period. Yeah, like it's insane that what the series has done, but like they freaking
and then you have Judgment.
And yeah, you got the Judgment series, and freaking they have Bakumantai in Edo, Japan, which is great. That was great. But yeah, Yakuza 0, because it was like a thing for me and you for weeks on end. Just the storyline. One of my favorite video game characters now is Goro Majima. Like he is, and his saga. Because I've been watching videos, been watching wikis. I've been spoiling the story for myself, anyways. But I still want to play it for myself later on. But man, that man's, he is the embodiment of I don't give a shit no more. And you see all of that in Yakuza 0 from his storyline. Like Kiryu's fine. He's protagonist. Like he's not even human. He really isn't. He's just like this superhero that people don't even realize it. And he's got his morals and all that type of stuff. But it was really Majima that got to me. I felt his pain and his reasonings and stuff like that. So it was seeing the payoff of him transforming into the mad dog of Shimani or whatever. It was fantastic. Shimano, like I get it. Yeah, the freaking dragon of whatever for Kiryu, but it was Majima that really hit the spot for me. And it's good. The game has a lot of unnecessary things. I think they really can trim that series for a lot of stuff. But the wildness, the weird Japanese stuff, and gosh, man, it was great. I will buy the other games in the series at some point. I'll probably look on Fanatical at some point and be like, it's $3 for all 7 games. So that's gonna be a thing.
I will send it to you at a point anyway.
Yeah, at some point you will. You already got me to buy Titanfall and beat that already. So yeah, it was great, and you guys should play it. It's different. It's a different type of video game. There's really no other game kind of like it. So that's cool. Let's see. Promo code Bakumitai. All right.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's good. All right. Well, let's see, guys. So we are an hour and 9 minutes, but it is 9 o'clock here, so we should probably, because we've been waiting for this, because the payoff has happened. We're gonna head on over to the cage, guys. Stuff happened. The sweet betrayal. Sweet betrayal. Yep. Let's go.
Let me Let me put this game on pause.
Put the control down,
With my
Charles.
hands.
You've been waiting.
Just do it because I was playing wrestling. I'm hyped. I'm ready. Welcome everybody to your weekly Truplex The Cage with Charles. Remember, full disclaimer: wrestling is not fake. It is scripted. It's a stage fight. It's a song and dance. It's about men and women, chasing championships, establishing their legacy, beating the holy hell out of each other, trying to make a name for themselves in the game, and also just a life lesson. Just a life lesson about what happens when you go into uncharted territory, unnavigable waters, and try to find something to know yourself, and then find who you really are. Remember who you are. It's like Mufasa when Simba's calling to him, and Mufasa goes and says, "Remember who you are." And there's so much we can talk about. So many pay-per-views have happened. The Royal Rumble happened like 2 weekends ago, and it was fair, is the word I'll use, like a B-. And that's where we're going to start. We're not going to harp on AEW this week. We will next week, I promise. Even though I'm going to put an AEW disclaimer. Moxley Hangman has the potential to really just knock out of the park when they get to Revolution. Just saying. We'll talk more about it when we build up because Revolution's in March. New Japan, things and stuff and things. It's getting a little bit more fluid. We won't talk about NXT Stand Delivered. I'm going to be mindful of our time. I would like to eat dinner as well. We know what we're here for. But let's talk about the Royal Rumble. This is Triple H's second big pay-per-view. That is the Big Four. Remember, the Big Four is what? Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Survivor Series knocked out of the park. War Games was great. Royal Rumble was kind of there. They had the men's Royal Rumble, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to go a little bit in detail because reactions. I got to tell you guys about what lets that shirt being purchased. So we had the men's Royal Rumble that started it. Then followed with Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss in a match. Then had the Pitch Black match, which was Bray Wyatt's return to wrestling after being fired and then just kind of meandering for like 6 months. They had the Women's Royal Rumble. And then they had Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns for the Universal title. I'm bringing up everything. So let's talk about it. We're going to go a little bit out of sorts here because I want to say the two big things I'm going to be petty about and talk about. Bray Wyatt versus LA Knight in the Mountain Dew Pitch Black match. Fine, 7 minutes. I wasn't about it. It did what it needed to do. It wasn't the most ludicrous sponsored match. Apparently, Mountain Dew paid WWE $1 million to have their name on board. Smart business move. Bray was kind of the right guy to do it because he could do that quirky stuff. But it was like legitimately a squash. The match took in 5 minutes and 5 seconds without intros. That's not a real wrestling match, but whatever. Bianca Belair versus Alexa Bliss. 7-minute match. I think they got hampered by the Women's Royal Rumble and the Men's Royal Rumble. Women's Royal Rumble, Rhea Ripley won. She started it at 1 and came out last. It was fine. I like the ending. Asuka came back. She's now has like this tormented face paint that looks like the Violator from Spawn. And
is that the one?
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. That was the post scenes. Well, that was her behind the scenes. I'm talking about how she came in to wrestle in the match. But it was fair. It was fine. I was okay with Rhea Ripley winning, and she's challenging Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, which I like. People want her and Bianca, but Charlotte beat her at WrestleMania 2 years ago when she was NXT champion. She beat her at SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam was a triple threat match, and she made Rhea tap out to be Raw Women's Champion. I think that was a couple matches before. No, it was a couple matches before that, a couple pay-per-views before that. So there's a storyline. The storyline is I'm going to finally beat Charlotte. I can live with that. The Men's Royal Rumble. Let's just talk about it. There was so much beef that Cafe Minero, called to do business with them because everybody was stacked. And there was a point, boys, where you had Gunther, the big Austrian, who has given me like 3 consecutive matches of the year for WWE. And Bobby Lashley came out. And then Gunther and Sheamus and Drew McIntyre were there. But then we had Brock Lesnar in there too. So there was a moment, I had chills, where Gunther and Brock are just staring at each other. I've got it on the screen. I was just like messaging you guys that stuff. Yeah. And they're just looking at each other. They're sizing that up, and the crowd was hot for it. I was hot for it. And anytime Brock laughs, it means he's about it. I've been watching Brock Lesnar for like 20 years. I know when he's about it. And Gunther has slimmed down because he used to be a big, portly man. I still would not mess with him. And then Bobby came out, and then everybody got a little bit of everything. And then Bobby eliminated Brock, so we're continuing that. We'll talk about next week because next week is Elimination Chamber. They did a very short pay-per-view wait period because the the gap between that Mania is going to be long to build their story. So we'll talk more about what the after effects of this Royal Rumble was. But oh man, I got a little bit of a chub just looking at it right now as Bobby is coming in and speared Brock, because that's going to be so good. They're wrestling an Elimination Chamber. I thought it was going to be a Mania. I think we're going to get a part 4 of Mania, but the Royal Rumble was good for a couple things, because Gunther came out number 1 as the IC champion. He lasted an hour and 1 minute. He outlasted 28 other people, only to lose to a returning Cody Rhodes at 30, who won the Royal Rumble, as we all predicted, as we all knew, as we all were aware was going to happen the minute that he announced that he was coming back in the Royal Rumble. Remember, where did we leave off of Cody? Back in June, he tore his pec. He wrestled with that tore pec against Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell. Other highlights of that Royal Rumble match, because we can go back to Cody in a second, we're getting Logan Paul and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. I'm almost certain. I'm down for that. Logan has earned my attention to be on some pay-per-views. I don't need him every pay-per-view. I don't need him every week on my TV, but with some big matches, and as long as he loses a majority of them, I'll be happy. And I can live with that, and I will be content. But there was a spot between him and Ricochet jumping on the ropes and colliding with each other that was very cool. Very awesome. Very awe-inspiring. We're like, oh, snap, that's good. And then he eliminated Seth Rollins, so that's how they build the story. So this is what I'm going to talk about for Cody. Cody came back, and it wasn't like he just eliminated everybody and won. They built a little bit of ground story. And when him and Gunther were the last two left, they almost had like a mini wrestling full-time match, like for additional 8 minutes going at it one-on-one, which I think really helped, one, reestablish Cody as more wrestler. Because remember, the whole thing about the Royal Rumble is just throw your opponent over the top rope. You could have shorted it. You could have had it where Gunther just eliminated whoever the second last guy was, and then Cody just gets the cheap, throw over. But they said, all right, let's give the fans a show. And then you had Gunther just proving the case of endurance, where he's already been there for an hour and change, and then he's going to have this full whole thing with Cody. And he had such final boss vibes, guys, that, man, it is like Andrew's a big Kingdom Hearts, or he's becoming a big Kingdom Hearts fan. He's like a Xehanort going to that. I couldn't think of anybody else of that because I wasn't going to say Dr. Robotnik, but that's not that. And Bowser always loses, so it doesn't count. He's Sephiroth in it at this point for all you Final Fantasy lovers. Also, I'm surprised how Cody's chest did not tear again if I got slapped by Gunther, but it was just impressive. It was awesome. Obviously, I was a little bothered. Obviously, because I wanted Sami Zayn in that Royal Rumble and to win it. But what happened was Triple H was smart, and he didn't even put Sami Zayn in the Rumble, because the whole thing is Roman was becoming paranoid about what was happening and told Sami to hang back and not enter the Rumble. So fine, it makes sense. There's still a chance, damn it. There's still a chance. I own a Cody Rhodes shirt now. How this came to be is because when I watch the wrestling, I'll watch it with my boys. We'll be like the party chat on PlayStation, and we'll be vibing, enjoying our libations, and the group of us, we do the Madden afterwards, and I think there's 4 or 5 of us in it, and one of them was being kind of resistant. I gotta work tomorrow. I'm like, come on, you gotta do it. We're all here, gotta do that because when I say we do Madden, Andrew, because I know Andrew gets angry that he feels like I'm cheating on him, not playing Splatoon, but to go to Madden, is that we actually do our entire franchises from ground up to finish. So it's not like just selecting random teams. There's a science to this ish right here, and the whole thing was he was like, well, I'll do it if you buy a Cody Rhodes shirt. Well, Charles at that time in that direction was like, fine, F it, I'll do it. I'll do it, damn it. And I spent $40 on that goddamn shirt. And when I came in, I wore it and I did deadlifts. And that explains why my grip was off, because I wasn't wearing my Roman Reigns shirt that I wear for deadlifts. It explains why I was a little bit weaker, because I wasn't going to push properly. Cody has 2 months. Hunter has 2 months to sell me on Cody. I know Cody is going to win. There's no doubt about it. I'm not unrealistic on that venture. I just want to know if we're going to split titles and go from there. And I'm very happy for Cody, because you know what? Like, I'm petty, but I know there's talent there. But there's a difference between being talented and then being stuck within the confine and the limitations of WWE versus having carte blanche when you were on the indies after you left and then being in AEW. But let's talk about the real ish. The real ish, why you're all here. So Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. I will not do the 50-minute summarization that I usually do for the base of time, but these two have gone out before. I rewatched their other matches leading into it. We're wondering about Sami Zayn's allegiances. We're wondering what's going to happen. There's a point. The match was pretty good. It was like a 3.5. And it basically reestablish the point that every time Owens almost has Roman, something happens. Once again, he hits Roman with the stunner. You can get the 1, 2, 3, the refs down. People are coming in, and eventually, there's a low blow, if I remember correctly. Roman wins 1, 2, 3, and then the beatdown happens. And here's the thing about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They actually have been friends for legitimately 20 years. Real storyline stuff. They've been tag team partners. They've done a lot of stuff throughout the world when they were in Ring of Honor, and then they had points on the main roster where they were, supporting each other, especially when they go against Shane McMahon and all this stuff. They're best buddies, all that stuff that you need to know. And then there's a point where Roman has him handcuffed, and he's about to hit Owens with the chair, and Sami was like, this is beneath you. You don't have to do this, Tribal Chief. And then basically Roman's like, all right, you got to do this. And then Roman starts gaslighting him. He's like, this is my life. You got to learn when to pull the trigger. We're your family now. He ain't your boy anymore. You got to do it. And everybody's encouraging him. Jay's encouraging, Jimmy's encouraging him. Solo just being Solo, being quiet. And then Sami has that chair in his hand, and he's looking at it. And you have that, and you know what's about to come, but you can't believe it's going to happen because the way they've been captivating this drama, especially with the trial of Sami Zayn, when they had Jay stick up for Sami, you're thinking, is there a strong chance that Sami is either going to not do it and then they're going to attack him, or is Sami going to hit Owens and sell his soul even further where there's no point of redemption? Because wrestling at the end of the day, boys, is what? A soap opera. But Sami hits freaking Roman, and Roman falls down. It's very reminiscent when Seth hit Roman when they were a Shield. So Roman now feels betrayed. There's a part of him. Oh, here we go. I could just cry right now. Kind of award-winning. It turned a C+ pay-per-view to a B, man. It was so good. And then Sami and his beautiful Robin Williams-looking self with the red hair goes to Jay. I'm sorry, Jay. And Jay just like, what are you doing? And then Jimmy's all concerned because remember, Jimmy's the one who was doing the handshakes, and Jimmy's the first to strike. As it should have been. It was always meant to be Jimmy who hit Sami first, and then everybody started beating down on Sami except for Jay, the man who was the first person in the path of the Tribal Chief when Roman had won the title, the man who Roman had choked out his own brother, make him say I couldn't sell, to become his own personal supporter. In that sense, I was it was just a lot of emotion come into it. Jay just looks around, you see Jimmy with that super like, my heart, it's so good. And then Sami was like, what the hell just happened? You did not put any ease on that kick, buddy. And then Jay just leaves. And now to catch everybody up, it was a sweet betrayal because to have Sami be the one who does it, to start it, was genius. Because I think everybody was expecting the beatdown because he got beat the hell out. But now, what are we getting? Next week, next Saturday, at Elimination Chamber in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, where Sami's from, we're getting Sami Zayn. Not Sami Uso, Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns. And we know Roman's going to kill him. If I booked it, I would have Roman squashing Sami out of some chicanery. It's coming from there. But, oh, man, it's so good because now Sami's like, I'm coming for those titles. He's like, I didn't want anything but your friendship and your love. And it's time because this is perfect to set up between the end of Roman's title reigns. Because why? Because there's no bigger babyface in WWE right now than Sami Zayn. I would argue there's no bigger babyface in all of wrestling promotion right now than Sami Zayn. And you have Cody win the Royal Rumble, and right now Sami's more interesting to me than Cody. I don't care about what those people saying that promo I sent you guys last night. You can't bring up Dusty every 2 damn minutes, man. And the legacy to build a promo, it's cheap. It's cheap heat, man. But if you have Roman literally murder Sami, I'm talking about murder. I'm talking about like Sami doesn't even get a full real match. I'm talking about Sami is attacked by the bloodline and has to get into the ring, hampering and crawling, and Roman kills him basically there. You're going to create a strong knight in shining armor that is Cody Rhodes to take down the tyranny of Roman Reigns, and that will cap off almost 3 years of Roman's legacy and take away the fact that we can't focus too much on Sami. Even though we know that Jey Uso is going to come back and screw over Sami, and then you're going to get the Usos defending their tag titles against Owens and Sami, which is fine, I guess. Sure, there's a happy ending for everybody, but I want my ending, damn it. It was just magical. It was just magical. I was so emotional. I was sending you guys everything. It was great because it's the payoff. It's the payoff. I couldn't even do a full solo on it, but I loved it, every bit of it. It's not done, but the final chapter of Sami and Roman is coming soon. Next week, unless Hunter, if you're hearing me right now, Paul Levesque, you can hack into our information anytime. I say you can make night 1 about Sami and Roman or night 2 about Sami and Roman. Just saying. And that's all I got for you this week on the cage.
Twas good. Yeah, it's the one like the one that I've been following the entire time. With
Oh,
you.
it's so good. That and Bobby and Brock, I think, are the two.
Yeah. Well, that's just about meat slapping meat, which is
Meat slapping meat.
Yeah.
That Royal Rumble standoff, the ultimate meat. That's the meat factory. That's the meat palace.
Yep. All right. Well, we're at an hour 25, and that's good enough to call. Well, hopefully I'll have something actually planned next week. If not, we'll figure out how we do this. But either way, guys, thanks for coming back. Number 37 of the most popular 100 top indie sports podcast. I don't even know what that means, but sure. Thanks for watching, listening, however you consume this, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Take care.
The EA Sports NHL 23 World Championship is here with more tournaments and more chances to win than ever before. Register now at NHL.com/NHL23.